Let's get it. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy David. We are back with another reaction video. Today we are reacting to Poker's greatest tournament run. With that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I ain't gonna lie, man. I love cards, bro. I don't know why, man. I've been playing so much Balatro. I already beat like the red and blue deck on Gold Stake. You know, I've just been into cards lately, man. But with that being said, man, let's get straight into it. Let's see the world's greatest poker run. Or tournament run in poker. I'm tired, y'all. Don't do too much on me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm tired of the bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
A standard deck of playing cards can be arranged in a number of ways. In fact, that exact number happens to be 52 factorial, which can otherwise be expressed like this, or in standard notation, like this. It's a number so astronomically huge that it would take me a minute to even pronounce the whole thing.
Unvigintillion, Vigintillion, Novad, Decillion, Quadrillion, Trillion. What the fuck?
The scale of it is mind-boggling, far beyond anything we can hope to visualize with our human frame of reference. It doesn't really make sense how this unfathomable quantity manages to fit neatly inside such a simple man-made object. Depending on how you look at it, a deck of cards might as well contain all the possibilities in the universe. The whims of chance are as tantalizing as they are confounding, something that exists just beyond the realm of our control. If you manage to achieve total mastery over the odds, you could basically do anything you wanted. Anyone who somehow harnessed this elusive power would suddenly gain access to unlimited possibilities. You could dodge bullets, hit every green light, and never
Or win the lottery. Just because, man, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just don't want to work a regular job. Just win the lottery. Fuck it.
lose at Monopoly again. But if we're being honest, you and I both know exactly how everyone would use this ability. They'd immediately go out and buy a winning lottery ticket, hit a 25-way parlay, and dump everything else into tomorrow's
Bro, parlays have got to be some of the dumbest gambling, like, sports betting odds I've ever seen. Those shits are trash. Because it's literally set up, the way it's set up, not everything on there is going to hit. So you're literally losing, like, a little bit low key, you know what I'm saying? But, like, still, at the end of the day, if something hits, you're going to be up a little, you know? It's like fucking with your brain in a very, like, it fucks with the win-loss ratio in your brain. You know what I'm saying?
best performing stock. Because if there's one thing people love to imagine themselves doing, it's getting rich. When given one shot at a lucky streak, the best we could hope to do with it would be to make some serious money. Allow me to introduce you to the star of our story. His name is Chris Moneymaker.
Man, that boy Chris locked the fuck in. Look at the player profile on this nigga, man. You look racist as fuck. You know he know how to gamble. Stop playing. Anybody who wears glasses like these, 9 times out of 10 they might be racist. Keep an eye on them. Okay.
Yes, that is his real name. It is believed to have descended from the German name Nurmacher, belonging to distant relatives who manufactured silver and gold coins. Chris would end up working with money in his own right, earning a modest living as an accountant for a local restaurant chain. His life was average in just about every way, until one fateful evening when...
Bro, is that a Michael? Is that They Don't Care About Us on in my ears right now? That's tough, bro. I fuck with the sound, bro.
everything took an unexpected turn. The story of Chris Moneymaker began with what most of you are probably doing right now, staring at a screen while trying to kill some time. The year was 2003, and online poker had taken America by storm. While the game of poker in one form or another had existed for centuries, its popularity didn't really take off until the advent of one specific variant. The name of the game is No Limit Hold'em, where players have to make the most.
The only poker variants I know is like Texas Hold'em and like free for all or some shit. I don't know much about poker, honestly, man. I just know like there's like the poker hands are pairs, pairs, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, a flush, straight flush, royal flush, a straight, you know, shit like that.
Out of 5 community cards and just 2 hole cards, which are unknown to the rest of the table. Like all the best games, Hold'em is easy to understand and difficult to master. But what makes it rather unique is its delicate balance between luck and skill. A game like chess, for example, is entirely skill-based. The outcome is determined entirely by the strategic mastery of the player. There is really no other way to win besides outplaying your opponent heads up. This leads to fair but predictable results in competitive play, where the winner almost always comes down to the better player. On the opposite side of the spectrum, you have a game like slots, whose outcome is entirely dependent on luck. The player is fully at the mercy of chance, with no way to gain any sort of...
That's why slots is the trashiest fucking casino game you could ever play. Bro, if you play slots, you're a bot. You're a robot, and you just give these niggas free money. Don't play no damn slots, nigga. Lock in and go play a real man's game. Like craps or something, I don't know, bro.
Strategic edge. There is no real difference between new and experienced players, since everyone has equal odds at hitting the jackpot. In slots, anyone can win, but no one has any control over whether they do. And then, somewhere in the middle, you have poker. A shuffled deck of cards may seem as random as a slot machine, but with enough practice and game sense, skilled players do manage to gain an edge over the competition. That edge is achieved through America's favorite pastime, lying. You see, poker is ultimately a game of information. The advantage exists in gathering information about your opponent's cards while concealing your own. Information can be communicated through betting. Typically, a big bet is supposed to represent a strong hand, but that's not always the case. Since you can never be certain about your opponent's cards, there is always an opportunity for deception. The technique of bluffing allows poker players to overcome losing hands by pretending to have something stronger. Understanding precisely when to bluff adds a layer of skill and complexity to an otherwise random game. In poker, the best player doesn't always win, but if you play your cards right, you can still stand a fighting chance even when the odds aren't in your favor. Throughout his life...
So how did this dude do it? What did he do? How did he basically become, I don't know, one of the greatest poker players on earth then? What the fuck did he do?
Chris Moneymaker never saw himself as anything more than an amateur player. His only action came from various low-stakes online rooms. Compared to the competition, he was above average, often winning more than he lost. But one day in April 2003, he finds himself on the run of his life. It all started with an $86 buy-in to an online tournament on the site PokerStars.com. After several hours, he is one of the final 4 players remaining. By now, Chris had participated in dozens of these events, but he'd never come this close to winning. Unfortunately, this just so happens to be a tournament he's not trying to win. His initial plan is to flame out in 4th place and collect the $8,000 cash prize.
That's real money? Damn, nigga! Hey, you would be up to the motherfucker, bro. That's crazy. Hey, I'll be cool with 8 bands. I ain't gonna lie, I'm straight.
To pay off some credit card debt. That's because the grand prize of this tournament is a little unorthodox. Rather than a cash payout, the top 3 finishers will be given a free ticket to the World Series of Poker main event, otherwise known as the most prestigious tournament in all of poker. Chris reasonably concludes that his chances of finishing in the money at such an event would be slim to none, and prepares for the far more sensible option of taking the money right in front of him. However, in the heat of the moment, he stops to reconsider his options.
Damn, that boy, he got touched by that gambler passion. Hold on, nigga. Hey, when a nigga get touched by that gambler passion, he don't know. He literally doesn't know any better. Literally, you can't tell him anything else. He's done. He's gonna hop into this tournament and fucking fry the competition, bro.
While he really wants to cash out, his friends and family are far more excited about the alternative. After mulling it over for a bit, they eventually convince him to answer the call to adventure, under one condition. Unwilling to leave so much money on the table, Chris wants some insurance. His World Series ticket is equivalent to a $10,000 price of admission, and he intends to sell off some of that equity. His father offers him $2,000 in cash for a 20% stake, but Chris is not exactly sold yet. Before going through with it, he needs a little more investment from a friend who was willing to take a gamble. His name is Dave Gamble.
That's a fucking lie. Stop playing, bro. See, I believed you on the moneymaker shit, But Dave Gamble, be for real. Did you write this? Hey, anybody wrote this himself, but that's crazy as hell.
I swear I'm not making any of this up. It all sounds absurd, I know, but it's not as unusual as you may think. Another interesting quirk of probability is that eventually, strange coincidences are bound to happen. On very rare occasions, order emerges from chaos, and one spring day in 2003, a man named Moneymaker and a man named Gamble walked into a casino. Do you think they were feeling lucky? You don't have to gamble. With today's chance is enough to get an accountant to animated staff. And money is all in on your financial fortunes any longer and head straight to get started.
Let's get it.
A poker tournament will inevitably guide the player to one of two outcomes. You either end up with no chips or all of the chips. The 2003 main event featured a record-setting field of 839 competitors, each beginning with a chip stack of 10,000. In the next 5 days, there will be just one player left standing, holding on to the entire supply of 8.39 million. The reward for this monumental task is a payday of $2.5 million.
Damn.
If you want to become the champion, you gotta start taking people's chips. A job that's easier said than done.
Bruh, no cap, this would be a fucking amazing episode of Hunter x Hunter. Like, if Gon and Killua and them went to like a casino and they had to like basically play the mafia or some shit, and they use Nen to basically cheat their way through these casino tables, but they have to play separately, but they also have to play like together at the same time and kind of throw each other cues and tips and shit. Man, this would be so fucking tough, man. This would be so fire.
In poker, you lose chips just by sitting at the table. The system of blinds and antes puts each player on a timer. If you just sit around waiting, your stack will gradually bleed out into nothing. The only way to increase your chip count is to start winning hands, which cannot be done without putting your own chips at risk. Eventually, the design of the game forces you into making aggressive decisions in order to make progress.
Hey, shout out Lalo Salamanca though, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this is my favorite character in Better Call Saul, Rio Menace. Shocking how he died though, but that's a spoiler, by the way. If you ain't watched the show, it's a good ass show. But man, this dude right here, you gonna if you like criminals who aren't like monsters but are monsters, you'll fuck a Lalo.
The only problem is that it's hard to be aggressive when you're going face to face with the best in the world. Unlike other prestigious competitions, the WSOP main event is peculiar in being open to the public. It doesn't matter if you just learned how to play on the cab ride over. As long as you pay the price of admission, you have a seat at the table with the masters of the game. It's the equivalent of driving your car onto the grid of the Indy 500. But make no mistake about it, Poker's elite are more than happy to welcome a bunch of amateurs to the party.
Yeah, they gonna bleed these niggas dry. That's crazy as fuck.
To them, it's like letting in more minnows to the Shark Tank. As Chris Moneymaker arrived at his table on day one of competition, he's certainly feeling like fresh meat. His goal at this point is to simply survive until day 2. Just an hour into the game, he's already encountered his first roadblock, a player by the name of Jim Worth, better known by his screen name Crazy Canuck. Chris immediately recognizes him as a powerful foe from his online games. It's not long before the Crazy Canuck sees Chris as an easy target. He starts playing Chris more aggressively and taking his chips. Eventually, Chris realizes that he won't survive for long as the weak link, so he starts fighting back. After flexing some muscle with a few big bets, he gets his rival to back off, taking some pots in the process. By the end of the afternoon, he's actually up a few thousand chips and feeling pretty good about himself. Players are busting out of the tournament already and he's sitting on a decent cushion. After studying the other players at the table, he likes his chances. He's got everyone else mostly figured out, except for one fellow, an older gentleman in a green polo.
But I really fuck with the animation of this video though. This shit is giving like King of the Hill vibes, I ain't gonna lie. I'm fucking with it.
Chris doesn't recognize him until he looks over at the side of the venue and sees his picture on the wall. All this time, Chris had been playing alongside the 1995 champion Dan Harrington, and he didn't even know it. The
Damn.
realization was a stark reminder that he was still very much out of his depth, and that in this tournament, threats are lurking around every corner. But after this moment, something interesting happens. Chris gets moved to a different table and starts running hot. He picks up several strong hands, makes a few good calls, and all of a sudden finds himself behind a stack of 60,000 chips. In fact, he wraps up day 1 in 11th place overall. He's in such good shape that he can actually sleep well that night. Unfortunately, he ends up sleeping a little too well.
Did he miss this? Did he miss day 2?
The next
Don't tell me he missed day 2.
morning, Chris wakes up to a horrifying sight. He has overslept the beginning of day 2. While frantically rushing to the casino floor, he assumes that he's just been disqualified, throwing away the single biggest opportunity of his life. When he gets down to the tables, people wonder what he's so worked up about. He then notices his stack of chips waiting for him at an open seat. Turns out all that panic was just another rookie mistake. Chris eventually settles back into the game and seems to pick back up where he left off. He's able to capitalize off his chip advantage and bully some weaker players off their hands, even knocking some opponents out of the tournament. After several hours, he's built his stack up to 180,000. However, this surge of momentum changes course when 2 new players arrive at the table. One of them is Phil Ivey, who is regarded today as possibly the greatest poker player in history. The other is Johnny Chan, who at this time is poker's biggest celebrity. The 2-time main event champion was iconic enough to show up in Hollywood movies, and was one of the only players that Chris immediately recognized. Just as soon as they appear, they start cleaning.
Could you imagine how goddamn good you gotta be at this game to appear in a movie, nigga? Like, these niggas got real clout. He playing against some real demons out here. What's he finna do? Is he gonna fold? Is he gonna like bend or buckle? Like, what's he finna do? Cause me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm the type of nigga rise to the challenge, bro. I'll go head to head with these niggas. I ain't gonna lie, boy. No cap.
Him out. No matter what he tries, Chris is simply no match for the pros. They're just too intimidating and too aggressive for him to get any sort of edge. By the end of the day, Ivey and Chan have drained his stack down to just over 100,000. The setback knocks him down to 26th place in the standings. Although he's losing ground on the leaders, Chris is still holding his own. By the end of day 2, there are just over 100 players left in the tournament. If he can hang on for one more day, then he's actually on pace to finish in the money. But surviving at this stage in the tournament is easier said than done. By now, the cream has risen to the top, and the pool of unskilled opponents has dried up. No matter where he lands tomorrow, he's gonna be swimming with the sharks.
It's demon time, nigga. What's he finna do? It's demon time, bro. You playing against them real addicts. He playing against the real addicts now. What's he gonna do?
Day 3 of the tournament begins with another complication for Chris. He manages to wake up on time, but now he's having trouble finding his table. After searching for a while, he has to stop and ask one of the organizers, who points all the way down to the end of the venue, past a crowd of spectators and into the center of a bunch of lights and cameras. Chris had been assigned to the TV table.
One more man I have to mention before we get underway at our featured table. His name is Chris Moneymaker.
Bro, this shit real to the bitch. Oh my god, man. Chris, lock in, bro. You gotta get it, nigga.
As if the situation couldn't get any more nerve-wracking, his seat is sandwiched between a murderer's row of poker pros. Joining him at the table are Paul Darden, Howard Le-
How the fuck do you become a pro gambler? Poker pros are basically pro gamblers. How do you become a pro gambler on purpose? Like, is this like a job you just do? Like, what the fuck?
Federer and a familiar foe in Johnny Chan. When the action begins, Chris is too afraid to play a hand. He's almost mesmerized watching the clash of poker titans in front of him. He remarks at how effortlessly they toss their chips into the pot, as if the huge amounts of money they're throwing around are of no concern to them. These are the true high rollers of the game, playing next to an average Joe who's never taken home more than 40 grand in a year. Chris figures that he might as well use this opportunity to study the masters. He tries to get in their head and understand how they think. After several hands of staring down the pros, he notices a couple of them are staring back. He imagines it's some kind of mind game. a spontaneous test of will to see if he's truly worthy of being in their presence. This sublime moment is eventually broken when Johnny
They testing this nigga like he a fucking soul reaper, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ever watch Bleach? And y'all ever see anybody who's not a captain go up against a captain level nigga? Like, they immediately get pressed by the spiritual pressure. They're testing his spiritual pressure, bro. Let's see, is he gonna fold? Shit, it's gonna be crazy, bro. I'm just so locked in. I only got too much to say, but I just wanna, you know what I'm saying, finish the story up.
Chan speaks up to remind Chris that it's his turn. When he realizes what happened, he just about turns red. Chris got so caught up in his own head that he forgot to fold his cards. His most humiliating blunder of the tournament, and it was all caught on camera. He had just exposed himself as the biggest fish at the table. His only saving grace is that the broadcast is on tape delay, and that the debacle may not end up airing. Johnny Chan tries to reassure him that a gaffe like that will never see the light of day. Unless, of course, he wins. At this moment, something changed.
He gets a +10 he gets +10 stats when he puts the glasses on, no cap.
Within Chris Moneymaker, while many others would have crumbled under the embarrassment.
I see why poker players wear their shades, bro. They hide their eyes, so you can't really see what they're thinking for real through their eyes. Cause you know how they say the eyes are the windows of the soul. They're hiding there, so you don't really see what they're feeling. And this nigga chewing on this, whatever the fuck this shit is, to seem like a cool ass nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell what a cool ass nigga thinking through the shades. You can't even tell.
Chris ended up responding to the situation in an unexpected way. He feels oddly relaxed, like he has nothing left to fear. He starts to realize that his lack of experience offers him a unique advantage. He may be a no-name player, but that also makes him an X-factor. After spending the whole tournament in their shadow, he begins to turn the tables on the pros. A few hands later, Chris goes head-to-head with Howard Lederer. He gets dealt a pair of aces, the strongest opening hand in the game, and recognizes that now is the time to strike. After a few rounds of betting, Moneymaker shoves, now is the time. The strong.
I look, you want to see what the hands are. Okay, we got an ace queen offsuit, ace queen suited, ace king offsuit, pocket nines, pocket tens. This don't make no fucking sense. I thought face cards and spades were always gonna be stronger than numbers, but okay. Ace king suited. Okay. Pocket jacks. Why are pocket jacks stronger than ace kings? Okay. Pocket kings. Okay. Okay. Ace pockets. Okay.
Strongest opening hand in the game, and recognizes that now is the time to strike. After a few rounds of betting, Moneymaker shoves all in. Lederer has him covered in chips, meaning that if Chris loses, he's out of the tournament. Lederer thinks for a while and ultimately decides to fold, allowing Chris to collect a nice pot. It started to look like the momentum was back on Chris's side, a trend that became apparent after his showdown with Johnny Chan. Ever since the stare down, Chan
Man, that nigga reminds me of Shane Gillis for some reason. I don't know why, bro.
had been struggling, and his situation was starting to get desperate. Just before the dinner break, Moneymaker gets dealt an ace-8 of hearts and decides he wants to tangle with the master. By now, the other players have exited the table, leaving only the challenger and the champion. The flop comes with 2 hearts and an ace, putting Moneymaker in great shape. After Chan raises him, he decides to shove all in. Chan makes the call, putting his tournament life at risk. He turns over the king 5 of hearts.
Okay, wait. Let's guess who wins here. I think honestly, I think he wins, right? Moneymaker wins, right?
Moneymaker jumps out of his seat. He has Chan dominated.
Let's go!
7%
I fucking knew it, nigga! I knew it! Oh my god, I'm so good at this shit.
nods to win the hand. Just one other card is all it takes to seal the deal. Chris Moneymaker had just busted the most famous player in the tournament.
I sat with the best in the world. And I won.
All of a sudden, this unsuspecting accountant from Tennessee had stumbled into the script of a
Man, that boy tough as fuck. He can't be stopped. Literally can't be stopped.
Hollywood movie. Through all the commotion, he secured a spot in the top 45, good enough for a payout of at least $25,000. However, for the first time in the tournament, Chris starts to set his sights on something greater. By the end of day 3, he's sitting on 357,000 chips, good enough for 6th place overall. If he can maintain his position for one more day of action, he's on pace to make the final table, where the prize money gets truly life-changing. By day 4 of the main event, the demeanor of the room is noticeably different. The pleasantries of small talk and friendly banter have been replaced with an air of tension and unease. At this point, the players can no longer ignore what's at stake. From here on out, there's no more friends, no more patience, and no more room for error. In the next 48 hours, a champion will be crowned, and everyone has their eyes on the prize.
They gotta give me a new gambling anime, bro. Like, I don't want to watch Kakaguri anymore. I want to watch, like, some new gambling anime. Like, it gotta be some fire-ass shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know. That's why I was using the Hunter x Hunter example from the start, because I was like, damn, like, low-key Togashi could write an amazing, like, gambling arc for, Gon and them to do, bro. No cap.
After knocking out Johnny Chan, Chris Moneymaker is now on everybody's radar, and the pros are eager to prove that his hot streak is nothing more than a lucky break. His first challenge comes from Umberto Brenes, otherwise known as the Shark. After a couple of big bets, Brenes lures Chris into shoving all in with just a pair of 8s. When Chris sees him turn over...
Why the fuck would you shove all in like that, bro? I would have folded, bitch. I ain't gonna lie. The minute a nigga calls all in on me, I'm folding. I don't care, bro.
Aces, he knows he's in trouble. Brenes has him almost dead to rights, with a 92% chance of taking the pot. However, Moneymaker's luck hasn't run out yet.
And here comes a turn, and it's an...
And he banged a fuck, and he banged an 8! And he banged an 8! Stop playing with my nigga, bro. For real, stop playing with my nigga before I get mad in this bitch. He banged an 8. He knew it was coming. He's psychic, nigga. What you talking about?
8 of clubs. The last card is no help to Brenes, and he has been eliminated.
Remarkably, Moneymaker gets bailed out by an unlikely set of 8s that sends the Shark packing. This moment is a huge wake-up by an unlikely set of 8s that sends the Shark packing. This moment is a huge wake-up call for Chris, who understands that he just dodged a bullet. The spectacle certainly hasn't helped him shake the perception of a lucky amateur, but as the day goes on, he actually begins to prove his worth. Howard Lederer is the next pro to go after Chris, confronting him with another all-in bet. This time, Chris makes the right call and lays down his card.
Bro, this nigga, bro, I'm not gonna lie, the music in this video is fucking phenomenal. We got the Michael Jackson, what's it called? The Michael Jackson snippet at the start. This nigga turned on the GTA fucking 5 in this bitch, man. What y'all niggas know about that, nigga? Oh my god, he's cooking.
After that, he gets involved with the 1998 champion Scotty Nguyen. Chris immediately makes another correct read and bluffs him off his hand. After stealing a pot from one of the best in the world, Moneymaker decides to take things a bit further. Facing off against French millionaire Chuck Wong, he pulls off another bluff, and this time shows his cards to the table. His rivals are shocked to see that Chris had been holding absolute junk. For the first time, the other players are finally starting to see him as a credible threat. Halfway through the action, Chris is down to the final 22 and remains in 6th place on the leaderboard. The final table is looking more and more likely, but he still has plenty of foes standing in his way. Chris's next showdown would come against Dutch Boyd, another young gun who'd spent most of the afternoon with the chip lead. As the story goes, he had grown up as some kind of...
But that's fucking crazy. But this goddamn picture crazy as hell. Could you imagine you a famous poker player and then somebody makes a video about you and then they make you looking like this? God damn, nigga, what did I do to you? This not even acne, nigga. This chicken pox. What the fuck? God damn.
Boyd genius, earning his master's in law at just the age of 18. As fate would have it, he would end up using his profound intellect to play cards for a living. He spent the whole tournament outsmarting the competition, until he ends up face to face with Chris Moneymaker.
Or aka the luckiest motherfucker on earth. No cap.
Chris jumps in the action with a pair of 3s. The flop is a bunch of low cards, which improve his odds a bit, so he bets. Dutch stares him down for a while, and then raises all in. Chris is now slated with his toughest decision of the tournament. If he makes the call and he's wrong, it's game over. A pair of threes is far from the best hand. There are many other combinations of cards that outright beat it here. Chris thinks for a long time. He considers all the different angles and possibilities, but at the end of it all, he just doesn't buy the story.
Stop playing, man. I would have folded like a fucking lawn chair, nigga. God damn, that's crazy.
Moneymaker calls and Dutch is beside himself. He's been caught out on a stone-cold bluff. The next two cards are no help for him, and Chris doubles up to 1.2 million chips. Dutch asks him if he exploited some kind of hidden tell. He doesn't believe that a player like him could have possibly made such a read. Chris simply responds that he had a gut feeling. Oftentimes in poker, instincts matter more than intellect. Moments later, Dutch Boyd is knocked out of the tournament in
This game fake as fuck, nigga. This nigga getting lucky than a bitch. Oh my god. Hey, poker faked it a motherfucker. This nigga getting lucky as hell, bro. Goddamn.
12th place. And before long, Chris has survived into the top 10, one spot away from the final table. This is where the competition reaches a bottleneck. For the pros, making the final table is a point of pride, and no one wants to be the odd man out. The game slows to a crawl as every player tightens up. The stalemate extends well past midnight. Chris has now been playing poker for over 13 hours straight.
Damn.
With the mounting exhaustion, he's trying his best to weather the storm, until he sees an opportunity. Starting with ace-queen, Chris hits a set on the flop. After an unsuspecting 9 on the turn, he likes his chances and bets big. He would have felt even better if he wasn't challenging Phil Ivey, the most dangerous player left in the field. Immediately, he proves why that's the case and raises all in. Chris makes the call, and to his
But he lost that shit, huh? He fucking lost that shit.
horror, Ivey turns over a pair of 9.
Pair of 9s into, but he got 2 queens though. It depends what this last one is, I think. Hold on.
With a pair of queens already on the board,
Yeah?
it's good for a full house.
How? Maybe if he hits a 9, I mean he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so confused. I don't know.
Blowing Chris's hand away. His odds of winning have plummeted to just 17%. Ivey did everything right, and provided another reminder of why many consider him to be the best to ever play. In the future, he'll go on to win dozens of tournaments, but as fate would have it, this was not one of them.
It's an ace. An incredible knockout blow.
Nigga begged an ace, bro. Bro, this nigga got God on his side. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. Damn.
We're probably the best player left in the tournament.
The river card is an ace, giving Moneymaker a superior full house. Ivey is out of the tournament in 10th place, and Chris has advanced to the final table as the overall chip leader. An amateur player who just a month ago was stressing out over $8,000 is now in prime position to take home $2.5 million. Thus far, it's been a great story, inspirational even, but if we're being realistic, this has to be the part where we step out of Neverland. He's made some great plays, toppled some of the best in the game, and even seems to have luck on his side. But at some point, Chris's inexperience is gonna come back to bite him, and he's gonna get beat. His best course of action now should be to coast off his lead, enjoy the ride, and wait for the inevitable. However, the man named Moneymaker has other plans.
Nigga got chrome shades on. He can't see no better, man. He don't see no other way but to go to the top, man. No cap.
The law of large numbers states that after enough trials, everything eventually regresses to the mean. 4 days ago, Chris had never set foot in a real-life poker tournament, and now finds himself leading the most important event of the year. He's about as big of a statistical outlier as they come. And all this time, everyone has been waiting for the other shoe to drop on the online fish. But for as long as the pros have believed this, Chris has continued to pick them off one by one. He starts the final day of competition by knocking out David Gray. A while later, he takes out Tomer Benveniste, followed by Jason Lester, bringing Moneymaker into the top 3. The next one to fall is Dan Harrington. the original Spectre who haunted him all the way back at his very first table. And with that, Chris Moneymaker had only one player left to beat.
Farha.
His final opponent is Sam Farha, who resembles the dictionary definition of a poker
Right here, he's like a lawyer. What the fuck?
professional.
Saul Goodman looking ass nigga. Goddamn. Type of nigga to tell you like, hey man, whatever you need to beat this case. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, you know? Face ass.
Cunning, unflappable, and visibly richer than you. Chris has come face to face with his complete antithesis, a seasoned veteran who's finally gonna put the scrappy underdog in his place. There's a break in the action before the final showdown as the tournament organizers remind everyone what they're fighting for. They wheel out $2.5 million in cold hard cash and dump it on the table. Few people in history have ever been in the presence of that much physical money. It's enough dough that Chris can literally smell it. The moment snaps him back to reality. He'd been so dialed into the game that he forgot what was at stake. And for the first time in a while, Chris thinks about playing it safe.
It just starting to feel the pressure, bruh. You can't feel the pressure. You gotta go crazy, nigga. You gotta goddamn. You gotta almost throw caution to the wind, boy. It's time to shine. It's the moment too big. It's the lights too bright. Hopefully not, nigga. It's time.
During the break, he runs into Sam Farha in the restroom and tries to cut a deal. He wants to split the first and second place purse 50-50 and just play for the trophy. Since Chris has about a 2-to-1 chip advantage, he considers it a generous offer. Farha, however,
But Farha does not care, and Farha wants to fucking take him out. That's it. Point blank period.
disagrees. He doesn't see Chris as an equal opponent and wants a greater share of the winnings. For as far as he's come, the others still don't think he deserves to be there. To truly earn their respect, Chris has to go out and prove himself once and for all. The championship battle rages back and forth. After 90 minutes of action, neither player has been able to get an edge. That all changes on the 27th hand of the showdown. As the cards are dealt, both players fire into the pot. Chris has King 7, and after the turn card has both a straight and a flush draw.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's how you play it. So basically, the cards you have to match the thing so you can get the flush. So he has a 7. He has a straight because 6, 7, 8, 9. He has the flush because they're all spades. Oh my god! I didn't see it. That's crazy. Fuck. What the Farha got?
Sensing an opportunity, he bets big. The river card comes, and it's a total
Fucking hell! That's a waste of a fucking card, boy.
brick. Chris misses on both of his draws and is hung out to dry with just King High. He thinks for a bit and then does the unthinkable. Moneymaker shoves all in with absolute junk. Farha has a beat with a pair.
Okay, so Farha has the pair right there. He has a high card. Pairs beat high cards. He has a pair on that hit. So he could win this.
Of nines. He has a golden opportunity to double up and put Chris in a nearly insurmountable deficit. All he has to do is make the call. Farha stares Chris down, scanning for any sort of inconsistency. Moneymaker has gone still as a statue. For the next minute, he doesn't move a muscle. After an excruciating wait, Farha lays down. Chris has just pulled off the bluff of the
Bro, he absolutely fucking bluffed the shit out this nigga. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! He just absolutely bluffed the shit out this nigga. He had nothing. This nigga had nothing. He had nothing. Just a fucking king high? That's it. He had nothing. Oh my god! That's crazy.
century. On the very next hand, he flops 2 pair and catches
He has a 10 in the...
Sammy on a pair of jacks. Farha
Set that up. Let me read it again. Okay, he has a pair of jacks right here on the hit. Farha got the pair of jacks on the hit. He has a pair. He has a higher pair, so he could probably win this shit. He has a 2 pair. Ooh, I think does that mean that he has a Moneymaker has the advantage?
moves all in and Moneymaker calls. After 2 more cards, it's all over.
With a full house, Chris Moneymaker eliminated.
Go back. Let me see.
And Moneymaker calls.
Two fives, two fours.
After 2 more cards,
Into the 8. So he has 1, 2, 3. He hits one more 4, one more 5.
it's all over.
He hit one more fucking 5. Oh my god! Oh my god!
With a full house, Chris Moneymaker eliminates Sam Farhall, and in a very swift and unlikely manner is atop the poker world.
When he finally looked over his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer. The 2003 World Series of Poker main event belongs to Chris Moneymaker. He finishes out his run with a tournament-winning full house.
Damn!
His first ever live event, he walks out of the casino a multi-millionaire. In the words of ESPN commentator Norman Chad,
This is beyond fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
amidst the celebration, poker vets Mike Matusow and Eric Seidel are discussing what just transpired. Matusow is distraught, believing that the air of legitimacy around poker pros had just been dismantled.
Actually, no. I don't think the air of legitimacy has been dismantled. He got very fucking lucky. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. He banged the full house as the last thing. Like, that's literally... That nigga had God on his side, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. That's not... The shit they was doing, but they could have killed this nigga, like, so many times. But he just got so lucky so many times. If he literally didn't fold right there, he would have been toast. What the fuck?
If a guy like Moneymaker could come in and beat the best in the world, what would that say about the industry as a whole? Seidel, on the other hand, sees things more pragmatically. He suggests that they donate Chris 5% of their future earnings, because the world of poker was about to change forever. Several months later, the tournament would air on ESPN, marking the beginning of what came to be known as the Moneymaker Effect. The program drew in record viewership for televised poker, prompting the network to re-air the special nearly a dozen times. It turned out that the American public found Chris's story to be quite inspirational. People became enamored by the idea of raking in millions by playing cards for a few days.
And here we go. These dumbass niggas think they gonna do it like Moneymaker did it. Here we go.
Just 1 year later, the WSOP main event saw triple the entrants. The poker boom was underway, as everyone tried to become the next Chris Moneymaker. In the following decades, this influx of new players would end up earning the poker industry billions.
Damn.
However, the great irony with all of this is that for the party played in it, Chris didn't actually walk away with that much money.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Chris probably had to pay so much in taxes. Like, nigga, he probably paid like at least, I don't know, $500,000 in taxes.
Remember that steak he sold to his friends and family? Well,
Oh,
he
yeah.
had to make good on that promise. For his $2,000 share, Mike Moneymaker went on to pocket $500,000.
Damn.
And as for Dave's gamble, he turned his $2,500 wager into $625,000. That would have still left Chris with a nice chunk of change. But as it turned out, Mrs. Moneymaker got more than she bargained for when her husband started traveling the world to play poker for a living. The two would end up splitting, and most of the remaining prize money would leave with her.
What? What the fuck? Nigga, why you ain't sign no prenup, nigga? God damn, you let the divorce do that to you? Not locked in, nigga.
Chris may not have been left with much of a fortune, but he did have fame. The folks at PokerStars greatly appreciated the free promotion he'd given them, and agreed to cover the costs of any event he wanted to enter. Needless to say, this new career path was certainly a step up from accounting. At the end of it all, Chris had found his true calling in life, and as time went on, it became apparent that his magical run may not have been such a fluke after all.
Oh.
Soon enough, he would prove himself as quite a natural at the game, and as of 2024, he's still winning tournaments. It's now been over 20 years since Chris Moneymaker changed poker forever. If you catch him at the right time, you can still see him trying his luck at the place where it all began. This year's main event featured more than 10,000 entrants competing for a grand prize of $10 million.
Damn.
Today, the game is certainly different than the one Moneymaker came into. Many would agree that modern poker lacks much of the mystique and wonder that once made it so entertaining. The colorful cast of characters from the past have slowly been phased out by a new generation of players who prefer a more robotic and analytical approach to the game. With the rise of computers and poker engines, everyone now understands the statistically optimal way to play. After all this time, we're still trying to master the odds. But no matter how advanced your strategy is, no one really controls their destiny.
The only reason why I know anything about this poker shit is because of Balatro, bro. Balatro literally, low-key, like, one of the best games I ever played in my fucking life, bro. No cap.
Whenever you shuffle a deck of cards, there's an astronomically high chance that the combination you hold in your hands has never existed before in history. The universe is full of possibilities, a few of which will lead us towards strange and beautiful surprises, to things far more valuable than money. When you think about all the cards that had to fall exactly right for the story to turn out this way, it's hard to believe it really happened. Of course, there are those who will tell you that there's no such thing as chance. Events either happen or they don't. As far as we're concerned,
And that's the chance. Either it happens or it won't. That's the chance, bro. No cap. That's the probability. It's right there.
the probability is either 0 or 100.
Exactly.
The other numbers are just there to make our unknowable future feel a bit less murky. Life is a lot more unpredictable than we'd often like to admit, and sometimes it's incredible what can happen when you no longer fear the odds.
Oh my god, man, that was such a good video, bro. Man, that was such a good fucking video, bro. Shout out to the Imp Lemon, bro. This is fire. With that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Try to get to 1,000 subscribers. I ain't gonna lie, I wish I would have reacted a little bit more. I was a little tired, but hey, man, we had to get it done for y'all, bro. No cap. And yeah, man, y'all have a wonderful day.